Hi, I'm Kari, your intuitive counselor and happiness coach with your December forecast. And here we are in the last month of the year. This month is the end of a decade and we are totally going out with a shebang. It is such an incredible month. So many pivotal events happening. It's really an electrifying, exciting month to set you up for an incredible new decade. 2020, we're headed into a new decade. And next year is going to be life-changing. I mean, really, one of the most life-changing years of your life. Personally, politically, everything is going to be restructured, all of the foundations. And this month is setting you up for a lot of spectacular events happening right now during this month. And I want you to really be prepared for a wonderful, relaxing, peaceful ending of this year and this decade, so you can really set yourself up for an incredible new paradigm, because that's what's ahead for you. And so how you handle this year and how you manage your energy this month is really going to affect that transition. So when we end the year, there's this tendency to run around and try to do everything. And there's also this, we look back on the year, right? And of course, now you're looking back on the decade and you're evaluating what you've done with your life. Now, this was a different kind of year because this year was very creative. It was a 3 universal year, 2019, and it's very much about creativity and expression and emotions and uncovering what's been hidden inside your heart, uncovering what you've been longing to express. It's very creative, and because it's been such an emotionally interesting year and so much of it is about creativity and exploring and realizing what you like and what you don't like, there could be an aspect of you that feels that you didn't cross as much off your productivity list as you would have liked. And that's really not what this year has been about. This year was about realizing what you're made of, recognizing your authentic self, letting go of what isn't appropriate for you, recognizing what your dreams are and what's been in your heart. So when you're evaluating this year, instead of looking at what you've done, what you haven't done, all the things on your list that you wanted to check off, instead of looking at that, I'm really encouraging you to look at all that you've grown and all that you've recognized and the things that you let go of as a beautiful thing, not as something you've done wrong or mistakes that you've made, but really in a way that you can recognize all the emotional growth that you've had. Next year is very much about practical energy and about really building your dreams. This year was about exploring what your options are. Now, a big part of that has been Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and abundance. It's the largest planet in our solar system. So, in as much so that it expands everything it touches. That's why it's the planet of abundance and luck and optimism. Well, Jupiter has been in its home sign of Sagittarius all year. Jupiter stays in a sign for a year, just over a year at a time. And so for this year, Jupiter's been in Sagittarius, where it's very happy. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Sagittarius is all about optimism and moving forward and exploring and expanding your mind and travel and new horizons and ideals. So you've been expanding your ideals all year. Well, Jupiter, after over a year, in Sagittarius is changing signs on December 2nd for a whole other year. It's going to set the tone for the entire year, and that starts right now, December 2nd. Jupiter changes signs into Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. Saturn and Jupiter are very different. Jupiter is about expansion and Saturn's about boundaries and limitations. So next year, which is 2020, is a 4-year, whereas this year was about creativity, next year is about practicality and laying real groundwork, very earthy. So the tone of this month is really setting the tone of all of next year. So you really get a feel for it. It's that sense of doing things in a very step-by-step way. Whereas this was, 3 years are kind of messy because you're exploring all different things and it's hard for anything to stick. And that was appropriate. Next year, and starting now with Jupiter moving into Capricorn, this is about having abundance and expansion of your dreams as you build it very practically, step by step. It's very earthy. And that's wonderful, because now, after all this exploration, now you can start to really feel that productivity and that sense of responsibility of really making things happen. So that's super exciting. Now, we still have Sagittarius until the solstice on the 21st, where our sun is in Sagittarius, and that is still about your vision and looking forward. Sagittarius is the sign of the archer. So it's really about looking ahead and planning and visioning and really expanding what you thought was possible. So keep dreaming, okay? Because next year is the time to really put this into practice. Now, December 2019 is a 6 universal month. And 6 is the number of the heart. 6 is really the energy that bridges heaven and earth. So here we are right before we have this transition into like what you're dreaming and building that. You have this right in the center energy, the 6 energy, which is about harmony and love and beauty. So again, this month isn't all about just doing everything before the end of the year. It's about creating that kind of balance and love and harmony and beauty that you want to take into next year. Now, the thing about the 6, this higher vibration of 6 energy is about choices. Because whenever the 6 is present, it's always about what you're choosing. If you're choosing what your ideals are, what's truly in your heart, or what you think is expected of you. Because there's a sense of perfection around the 6 energy. So the perfectionist tends to want to please other people, whereas the soul part of you that your heart resonates with wants to choose based on your higher self. So this month you're going to be presented with some choices where, as you're recognizing those parts of yourself that are no longer appropriate for you, how you want to make choices for next year, next decade, and beyond to represent your authentic self, your true self. So that is what this energy is about right now. And we have something really exciting how we're ending the year. So it's like a Christmas miracle. The day after Christmas, on the 26th, we have a new moon solar eclipse. So we're ending the year, the decade, on a new moon. Not just a new moon, a solar eclipse, which is a total reset of your consciousness. A solar eclipse is always there to help you totally reset and bring things to light. New moon solar eclipses are all about really fateful new beginnings. So as you enter this new decade, you can have these realizations, these revelations about the true self. And this isn't a total solar eclipse, it's a partial solar eclipse, which is known as a ring of fire. So it's like that backlit energy, that energy of luminosity and emanation of truly things that you've been hiding. It's time for you to bring them to light now. It's time for you to shine brighter with your authentic self and the parts that you've kept hidden. So that is a beautiful and exciting way to end the year. And what's beautiful about that, eclipses are always 2 weeks apart. So we're actually, the time between the last week of the year and the first few days of next year is that eclipse portal, the 2 weeks between, because we actually begin next year with a lunar eclipse. So the space in between eclipse, that eclipse portal, is a time of intense revelation. So what a unique way to end this year, with this eclipse portal, with this kind of space in between. So it's almost like the universe is reminding you that as you're ending this year, as you're ending this decade, all of your lessons, everything that you've accumulated in this life and all your previous lives, all of your spiritual lessons, you're taking them with you into this incredible new frontier. It's such an exciting time. It's such a dramatic and spectacular and beautiful way to end the month, to end the decade, to end the year. It's just really beautiful, and what a gift from the universe. So to harness and really tap into this cosmic potential, this incredible energy, I have 3 action steps for you to take. Now, the first action step for you is to look at your past with love. You know, it's like I said, it's so easy for you to measure your life in terms of what you've done rather than who you are. And everything in the universe right now is saying, look, everything you've done is what you're carrying forward. Just because things have been unconscious and eclipsed from your awareness doesn't mean that they're not valuable. And everything you've done, all the choices you've made, were the best that you can do based on the circumstances you were given. And so instead of taking note of your debits, take note of your credits in terms of all the love that you've shared with the world, the kind of person that you've become, the realizations that you've made. And as you look at your life like that and your past like that, you can honor yourself in a really beautiful way. And this is what this sixth energy is. It's all about love and beauty and connection and expression. So look at your past with love, and you can release anything that no longer serves you with love as you honor who you are for the beautiful being that you are. Now, your second action step is to take stock of what you really love. You have had a lot of realizations this year. The past 3 years have been like, oh my goodness, one major spiritual lesson after another. And through that process, especially this year, which is all about recognizing your authentic self, through that process, you've recognized things that you used to love, activities that you used to love, even people that you used to love, places, situations, maybe aren't appropriate for you anymore. And that's okay. That is perfectly appropriate because you're really stepping up your game. You're really moving into a totally new horizon. And so that was wonderful for its purpose. These people, situations, circumstances, but really take stock of maybe some passions that you buried and what you really, really love to do, because it's that passion that's always leading you forward. It's what's in your heart that's always leading you forward. And sometimes when things are changing, it's easy to hold on to what was comfortable, what you thought you liked, and there's some sentimentality about that. 2020 is not going to be a year for sentimentality. It is going to move you forward. Okay, big time. So the more conscious you are about what's true to your heart, what's true to yourself, what's authentic to you, what you really love, and what you don't anymore, regardless of how well it served you up until now, the more conscious you are about that, the more ease and joy and abundance and flow you're going to have moving forward. And your third action step is to imagine the life you love. Because if you imagine it, you can create it. And your imagination is a big part of how you create the life that you want. And yet, if you haven't experienced something yet, it's hard for you to feel what it's like. It's hard for you to get that energy in your body, mind, and spirit so that you can really pulse that energy out into the universe. And that is what attracts things to you. It's not just what you think, it's what you feel that sends that energy out into the universe. So as you imagine the life you want, you're starting to create it. You're creating thought forms that go into the universe to start to really manifest it. So really next year is about manifesting the physical form. So you want to engage your imagination now. You want to engage your heart and really feel the life you love. So as you're imagining what it is that you want to create, imagine yourself feeling it as if it's really happening, because your body doesn't know the difference between memory, imagination, and reality. So as you imagine things and have that feeling pulse out in the universe, then you can start to create it, and then it will become your new normal, this feeling of joy and love in every area of your life. So imagine it and create it. So of course, I have something very special for you to help you manifest your dreams this year, next year, and beyond. I've created a free Numerology personal year guide. Now what this is going to do is help you understand your personal year number for 2020 or any year, and you can do this for anyone in your life. It's super fun. So this is based on your birth date. So because we have these universal years, which are these bigger cycles, you have personal cycles within that. So as you know your personal year cycle, it helps you focus your energy on what's appropriate for you, what's in alignment with you personally, how to harmonize with universal cycles. It's really fun, and it's going to save you a lot of challenges so that you are in the flow of energy in your life and with the universe. So that is absolutely free. You can download that using the link below, and I highly encourage you to do that. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, share it with your friends. I'm sure they will appreciate you for it. And I am wishing you the most joyful, joyous new year and beyond. And I am so looking forward to seeing you in 2020. Lots of love. Bye for now.